Now, the alien premise may seem a bit far-fetched, but one of the closest things we actually have is this parasitic wasp. Here we see the beginning of its life cycle as the eggs are being injected into these live aphids who don't seem to be worried enough about what's about to happen to them. Interestingly enough, the wasps were actually called here by the plants who sent off a chemical signal that they were being eaten. So the wasps come to control the aphid population. Here we see a cute fat caterpillar, but there's actually something very wrong with it. And inside are these wasp larvae that were injected. Here they're 12 days old, and we can see them kind of just eating through the inside of the tissue. But they're very careful not to touch the vital organs of the caterpillar because they're trying to keep it alive so that they have their food for as much as possible so the caterpillar can feed them while they. But of course, that can't last too long, and something has to change. And as you may have guessed, that does not end well for our caterpillar friend. Those little teeth try to chew their way out while the caterpillar is still alive, which is not very pleasant. Now, this may seem very alien and even cruel, but it's important to point out that the wasp developed this strategy so that its young can have an advantage. While they're growing up, they have this really large food supply that's even growing and protecting them at the same time. So it's really a big evolutionary advantage for this wasp to have developed. And here we can see the wasp larva just eating its way through the thick caterpillar skin with its tiny but very sharp teeth, and you can see the skin is kind of clear, so you can just see them eating their way out, which is kind of gross. Now you would imagine at this point that the caterpillar is absolutely miserable as it's being eaten from the inside out, and this clearly does not look like its natural life cycle, as these tons and tons of wasp larvae just burst out from it and start spinning their protective cocoons around them. But yet the wasp does something else to the caterpillar. It actually messes with its brain. And now the caterpillar is spinning its own protective cocoon around these wasp larvae, and it's actually going to stand guard over them and protect them from other predators, which makes this one of the most interesting life cycles of any organism.